Let's say you just landed a new gig as a senior architect. You get the keys to a whole suite of Google Cloud projects. The only problem? It's a complete and total mess. In this explainer, we're going to walk through a real-world case study on how to take that kind of chaos and architect it into perfect order.
Does this sound familiar to you? You open up your cloud console and it just feels messy. It's like a digital attic, you know? Things were just thrown in there over the years, nobody's quite sure what's important anymore, and you have this nagging feeling you're paying to store a bunch of digital dust bunnies. Well, that's exactly the situation we're going to tackle today.
And this is the transformation we're shooting for. We start in chaos land, right? Buckets are created on the fly, there are no rules, costs are spiraling out of control, and there are some real security risks hiding in the shadows. But the goal is to get to a state of order. Predictable patterns, automated cost savings, and clear governance that actually makes everyone's life easier. So let's break down exactly how we get there. First things first, you can't fix a problem until you truly understand it. So step one was to just dive in and take an inventory of the chaos we just inherited. What exactly was lurking inside all of these projects?
The audit turned up some pretty classic issues. I'm talking over 50 ad hoc cloud storage buckets with completely random, inconsistent names. And lifecycle policies? Nope, not a single one in place. That meant data, even ancient logs, was sitting in expensive, high-performance storage forever. We also found a whole graveyard of old disk snapshots, just orphaned and detached from any machines, quietly racking up a bill every month.
And this is the number that gets everyone's attention. All of that disorganization, it added up. Our first estimate showed that a staggering 30% of the cloud storage bill was pure waste, money being spent on resources that were providing zero value. So cleaning this up isn't just about being tidy, it's about a significant financial win.
Okay, so the problem is big, it's expensive, and it's messy. How do you even start to fix it without breaking everything? We knew we needed a simple, clear strategy. So we broke it down into a 3-step approach to regain control and, restore a little sanity.
Here it is, the core strategy. First, inventory. You can't manage what you don't know you have, so we had to find everything. Second, classify, because not all data is created equal, right? Logs are different from backups, which are different from active user data. They all need different rules. And third, standardize. This is where we define the right way to do things from now on, to make sure we never, ever end up in this mess again. With our strategy in hand, it was time to design the solution. This meant creating a really clear and simple blueprint for what good actually looks like for cloud storage in our organization. This table right here became our single source of truth, and its real power is in its simplicity. Just take a look. Application logs? Okay, they go into cheaper nearline storage, they get the GCS logs prefix in the name, and they're automatically deleted after 90 days. Done. Database backups? Even cheaper cold line storage, kept for 180 days. The naming convention alone tells you everything you need to know just by glancing at it.
And this is such a key mindset shift. Some people hear standardization and they think it's all about restricting what they can do. But it's really the opposite. When the patterns are this clear, developers don't have to waste time reinventing the wheel. They can just follow the blueprint and move way faster, knowing they're doing it in a way that's secure and cost-effective.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. Before, you might have 3 or more totally confusing buckets for just one application. What's Blue App Storage Final? Who knows? But afterwards, you have 2 perfectly clear buckets. You know immediately one is for logs, one is for data, and you know exactly what rules are governing them. It's just clean. So we have our blueprint, which is great, but we don't want to just rely on people remembering to do the right thing every time. The real power move is to automate these new rules. And for that, we turn to Google Cloud's awesome lifecycle policies. For anyone who hasn't used these before, lifecycle management is basically just a set of if-then rules you can stick on a storage bucket. You can tell GCP, hey, if an object in this bucket gets to be 30 days old, automatically move it to a cheaper storage class for me. It is incredibly powerful stuff. So let's follow how this would work for, say, our database backups. For the first 30 days, they live in standard storage, just in case we need a really fast restore. After that, a policy automatically kicks in and moves them to nearline. Then, after 90 days, to Goldline, saving us more and more money. And finally, after 180 days, the policy just deletes the backup to meet our compliance rules. It's cost optimization and cleanup all on autopilot. And hey, it's not just for cloud storage buckets. We applied the exact same logic to those orphaned persistent disk snapshots. We set up a simple policy to automatically find and delete any snapshot older than 60 days. Just like that, an entire category of wasted spend was eliminated. Forever. All right, this all sounds great in theory, but I know that looking at a really messy environment can feel totally overwhelming. So the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle was creating a practical, phased roadmap to get from that state of chaos to a state of control without losing your mind.
The absolute key here is to not try and boil the ocean. Phase 1 is simple. Stop the bleeding. Starting today, all new projects have to follow the standard. That's a huge, easy win. Then, in Phase 2, you go after your most critical applications. And finally, in Phase 3, you can start to clean up that long tail of legacy buckets. This phased approach makes a massive project feel totally manageable.
So after all that, why does this matter? Well, the payoff is just enormous. Yeah, you drastically cut your storage costs, which is great, but you also seriously improve your security posture by having clear boundaries for your data. Your developers can move faster because they have predictable patterns to work with, and trust me, your next compliance audit just became a whole lot easier. Ultimately, architecting for order isn't really about being neat and tidy. It's about building a strong, reliable, and efficient foundation for everything else. It frees up money, it frees up time, and it frees up the mental energy that was being wasted on all that chaos. And that leaves you with one final and much more exciting question to answer. Now that your house is in order, what amazing thing are you going to build next?